Hello YouTube, it's Rob. How are you doing? I hope everybody's well and having a great day. Today's video, how do I manage my schedule, my workload? And it's a good question, and I'm grateful for all the requests for me to do a video on the subject. How do I? Well, I used to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday free, Thursday, Friday. And then that was straightforward, wasn't it? If you had a rainy day, you could check the weather beginning of the week and switch your jobs around. So if it was raining on Tuesday, you just go on Wednesday. And if it was raining on Monday, you do Tuesdays on Monday, Wednesday. You know, you had that day in the middle to be flexible, and it just worked to treat. However, the downside was your earnings were hit massively. So what I used to do is I used to do one-off jobs on the Wednesday, because fingers crossed, we don't get that many weeks or days. Watch, I've shot myself in the foot now. We're going to have months of rain, aren't we? This season, we're nearly into June. And we've had 1 week, which was the first week in April, if my memory serves me correctly, where we all got started the middle of March. And then it started to snow and rain in the first week in April. So I just took the whole week off, sent a message to every customer and said, look, I won't be with you this week due to the inclement weather. Do apologise. Everybody understood. And I was really pleased about that. So it doesn't happen very often, that, but when it does, you've just got to bite the bullet. Yes, you lose a few quid, but you can factor that in. Now, moving forward, I've changed. I don't do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday anymore. And I blame Carl from Dagtails. Hello, Carl. He did a video last year. I'm almost 99.9% sure it was Carl. If it wasn't, I apologise. But I think it was Carl. And he talked about in his video how he doesn't do a lot of one-off work where they're brand new clients. He does one-off work annually for big hedges and stuff like that, you know. But he gave a few reasons: wear and tear on machines, you don't know the customer, and you have to go and quote the jobs. And I sat and watched that and thought, you know what, he's right. Because there's been a few times I've done one-off jobs and I've made a right pig's ear with the quoting. You know, you quote, say, 160 quid for a small garden clear up, and when you finish, you think, you know what, I should have charged double. And then the waste comes off, you underestimate the waste, and then you think, I don't know this customer, I hope she's going to pay me, or he's going to pay me, and I hope they're not a pain at the end. And it does. And then you've got to have the correspondence of going to view the job, price the jobs. And so I decided that last year, after watching that video, I was going to fill my schedule up 5 days a week, and I was going to be more flexible with, you know, if we had a rainy day. For example, if you've got a weekly customer on a Wednesday and it rains, it's dead easy, and really sorry, I'll be there next week. But if you've got a fortnightly customer, it's a bit more challenging, because that means you haven't been for 4 weeks if you do that. So what I used to do, if it rains on Monday, I would try and fit Monday's customers in Tuesday and Wednesday, and just work longer days. And what I find is, as long as you're communicating with your customers, sending them messages, apologise, they're all right. And if they're not, you know what, they don't deserve you, they're gone. And that may seem harsh, but it's a fact of life. And what you need to be is a bit flexible, and I'm not. However, I'm trying my best to be a bit more flexible. So after watching Carl's video, I took on board what he said, and I thought, you know what, that's a really valid point. So in my mind at that point, I thought, you know what, I'm going to fill up my Wednesday, and then I'm just going to have to juggle me days around if indeed I need to. But at that point, I was also doing something else. And what I was doing is, I live in a place called Lowfell. I had a day where I'd gone to Shields, and I work in Shields, a day in Wallsend, a day in Ponteland, a day in Wickham, a day in... And I was all over the place. And so what I did is, I sort of zoomed in my customer base, and I let a few customers go, and a few customers let me go. And now my customer base is really tight to where I live, apart from I have a day in Ponteland, a day in Jesmond. But they're not that far where I couldn't do a day in Low Fell and then jump up to Ponteal and do a 2-hour garden if I needed to at the end of the day. But back in the day when I had South Shields, Walls End, all over the place, it was challenging. But now it's less challenging because you can just work slightly longer days and fit them in. And worst case scenario, I'll see you in 2 weeks. However, fast forward 2 weeks, if it's raining on that day, then you've got to fit them in there because you can't leave them any longer. And it's just about being flexible, communicating with your customers, something that I've improved on over the years because I'm so rigid sometimes. I want 17 cuts a year. Rob, relax. And I am doing, and I've learnt. So that's what I do. So my plan was to fill the Wednesday and have 5 days graft. So then I didn't have to do one-off works where you're getting it wrong, you're having to go out and quote. And I just felt more relaxed working for regular customers. And I think Carl made a valid point. However, I got the job on the estate doing a Wednesday, and it's a fixed price, daily price, and I go up there every Wednesday. We start at 8 and we work till about 4:30, sometimes 5 o'clock in the summer, which I'm okay with. Do I like it? Not really, if I'm honest. Why don't I like it? Because I feel like I'm working for someone and there's a boss there and I'm the employee. Well, I'm self-employed. I send an invoice at the end of the month and they pay, and yep, granted, very good payers, and there's winter work. But sometimes I think, I don't know, just not happy there. I'm doing jobs and I think this is the menial job, and maybe it's, I don't know. I prefer going and doing my garden for an hour, mow, a little bit of border work, come out, have a quick cup of tea or go to the next one. And I like working by myself, and so what I want to do, I'm going to keep it to the end of the year and see how it goes. One thing I've learned as well with a little bit of maturity is don't act in haste, you know. Think about your decision and then have a look at it. But I'm not doing quotes at the moment unless they're really quality gardens in my area, and I'll cherry pick them. And if 3 or 4 quality gardens came along in quick succession close to my home address, I'd probably give me notice to the estate. I would. I don't like, it's a canny travel, and I just don't like being, I don't always say I don't like being told, but I suppose that's true. I don't like being told what to do. I like to be my own boss, and it feels like I'm not my own boss. So I've gone from 4 days and one off work. One off work's sort of finished, and now I'm full. And it's just a matter of juggling your resources and juggling yourself, and just being flexible, and communication's key. And if you're kind to your customers, and I've had most of my customers a good few years now, and they're still here, so I like them, and I hope they like me, and I hope they like the work I do. So there's always that air of flexibility, and they're not daft. They look out the window and they can see it's lashing down. They don't want you in the garden, because sometimes you can make more mess than doing good work. So hopefully they understand, and fingers crossed, touch wood, thus far they do understand, and it's been no bother at all. So that's it, full. So managing your resources, managing your time is a skill that we need to do. I wasn't very good at it. I've improved, and I've chilled out a little bit, because when you first start, you are counting the pennies a little bit, and you're a bit worried, and you think, God, what if it all stops tomorrow? What if people start ringing up and saying, oh, we don't want your work anymore because, fuel prices have gone up, and you have all them stresses and anxieties. And to be honest, if you're working for somebody and they're paying you, they'd rather pick up a hot snake than pick up a bloody a fork or a lawnmower, and the chances of them saying, as long as you're doing a good job, you charge a fair price, the chance of them saying they don't want a gardener, it's very slim. Because in the world that we're working in, some of my customers, they're very wealthy people, and I don't think the sort of fuel crisis and the cost of living affects them as much as it does you and I. So I think everything's, you know, sometimes we worry about things we don't need to worry about. But the message today is be flexible, communicate with your customers, apologise during your messages, and try and sort of backfill. So if Monday rains, do it on Tuesday and Wednesday. If not, if it's so bad, I'll be there in sort of 2 weeks or weekly the next week, and don't miss them a second time. And keep them updated all the time. And when you get there, say, hello, how are you doing? Really sorry about last week. The rain was horrendous, but, you know, looking forward to getting stuck in now and getting everything done, and then just crack on and do your job. And I'm sure 99.9% of your customers will appreciate the service you do and appreciate the you know, the good job you're delivering. And if they're decent people, they'll understand. If they're not decent people, let them go. And I found that difficult historically to let customers go. I don't now. If I find them disrespectful or not very kind, they're gone. And that's not me being big-headed. It's where I'm at a point now where I'm comfortable. I've got a wage coming in from my business, and I know that customers can be replaced, and I know that the phone rings, and that's with a bit of experience. And I'm not experienced. There's people watching this, been in the game for years and years, and they'll be nodding at the screen saying, yeah, but it's took me a few years to work all that out. But if you're just starting, or you sort of in the first few years of your journey, don't worry about it. Communicate, do your best, and if they're not happy with them, wave goodbye. Somebody said, I think it was Gary from Funky Duck Productions. Hello, Gary. You don't lose customers, you just replace them with better ones. And he's so right. Anyway, that's me for today. I'm off to do another lawn and a little bit of weeding. So I'll crack on. But thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thanks for all your comments. I try and reply to everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, we'll get some gardening footage, I promise. But as you know, the grass is growing at the moment, isn't it? So remember, when the green gold's growing, keep mowing. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. All the best now.